Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teachers Noob. Today with me once again, Jared.
What's up?
And we've got another Superman Elseworld as we're going over Son of Superman, the original Jon Kent. And Octavia, if you're watching this, sorry, but this is the first time we ever had a son of Superman named John. Done by Howard Chaykin and David Tishman, with artwork by J.H. Williams III.
I love that S, by the way. I like that like jagged.
It's almost like the Electric S.
Yeah, almost like that, only cooler.
I like the Electric S. You could at least pretend to be interested. This is going to be big news. It'll be something to share with your children and grandchildren. We are about to experience the greatest solar activity this system has seen in over 50 years. The solar flare won't hit us in a literal physical sense, but when its radiation reaches Earth, we're going to experience a variety of effects. Like what? Temporary disruption of communication networks, an increased level of solar radiation high enough to induce melanomas in unprotected humans and animals, and of course, the usual, the end of the world is coming, nutcases coming out of the woodwork. Of course, we all know we're in no danger as long as we follow a simple series of rules and regulations. Any questions? Courtney, thank you, Miss Dayer. And as you know, I'm planning a career in molecular biology. Do you think you could hypothesize as to whether the increased solar radiation will result in any form of animal or vegetable cellular mutation? Theoretically, it's possible. Basically, they're all talking about what could happen, of course, and maybe we could blame it all on Superman. Very funny, Jerry, but we should never take the dirty work of social terrorists lightly. Isn't that right, John? Or are you too busy playing Tekken to pay attention? Tekken? Of course, Miss Dayer, but at the same time, you can't deny that historically speaking, social changes have been brought about by violent actions. I mean, look at the Weathermen, the Red Brigades, the IRA, the plow. Meanwhile, in the middle of nowhere, how's it shaking, Ace? Good to hear it, Kitty. Maybe it's his imagination. But the moment he steps on the stairs, he feels he can hear the facility humming. Huh? Like, anything I should know about? Situation normal. I do like how they open up with it where you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I love when stories do that.
Yeah, you're just like, who dat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Lex Luthor. I have Lex Luthor for Congressman Williams. I'm calling about the Andrews bill. I thought so. Thank you. Best to Emily. I have Lex Luthor for Ambassador Kobayashi. Konnichiwa, Ken. Good to hear your voice again. Just checking up on the status of our Osaka refinery. Excellent. And the world will be a better place for it, no doubt. Lunch is confirmed at the grill at 1 o'clock with Morgan Edge. I have Lex Luthor for Bruce Wayne. I loved your last script, Lois, but those vultures at Apex outbid us. That's awfully kind. Your agent said you've got something hot. It's a love story. I love a love story. Go on, please. We open in Romania, in Roman Empire, but everybody's in togas, but they're shiny and metallic. They're robots and they've enslaved humanity. Rome is good. Who's our hero? Oh, a gladiator, half man, half machine. And the girl, a rebel. It's love at first sight. Her passion reawakens his humanity. But she's blonde here? That's Lois.
Mm-hmm.
She's captured, and the robot prelate takes a real liking to her. She explains all the story, and it's Spartacus meets the Planet of the Apes meets Terminator meets Shane, and very well told. Let me see if I can get Daryl on the phone. We can take this into the studio this afternoon. Join me for lunch. So in other words, Lois is doing these own type of stories. Again, they're trying to set up what they're doing, I guess. So it looks like Lex is Lex, but looks like no world domination plans or anything as far as we can tell. Oh, it says the world's greatest hero, Lex Luthor. Where's Superman?
There you go. That makes sense.
Mom, I asked you, please, Jimmy. Honestly, I don't. The lady left her package. Oh, Jesus, because someone else just, left it. And that's the moment, and that's when the Superman came to Beverly Hills. So apparently someone is utilizing Superman as a terrorist group.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yep, domestic terrorists. The Superman have destroyed an entire square block of Beverly Hills. Early reports indicate at least 15 dead and 30 injured in the blast. The Superman headed by fugitive Pete Ross and Lana Lang Ross.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that.
And waging a secret war on economic segregation. They're restricting the rights of the poor while empowering Americans who can afford to pay for their freedom. Ross, allegedly a childhood friend of the long dead hero, the so-called Superman, adopted the red and gold logo, the symbol of, I'm quoting here, truth, justice, the American way. In a speech delivered just a moment ago, President Dole denounced the act of terrorism. She offered her condolences to families of the victims and pledged to give the Justice League carte blanche to put an end to Superman's reign of terror. This is Pamela Ackroyd, GBS Action News. Well, they're using military ordnance. So now these wackos are buying weapons of mass destruction from the U.S. Army? Stealing them is more like it. At least the president's finally given us the power to go after Ross. Too bad it took this kind of motivation to push him over the edge. First, we have to deal with the situation at hand. These people don't just vote, they're campaign contributors.
Doesn't the Wonder Woman design kind of look like Superwoman from Earth 3?
Yep, I was about to say. So yeah, so they're talking about, like, we've got start and labs. Oh yeah, they're talking about the solar flares bombardment and everything, about what this could do. Of course, people think, oh, not bad, nothing bad is going to happen. We've got this all under control. But oh boy, Mary and I spent the day helping the Justice JLA deliver protective suits to the poor, and we brought a video crew along to record it all for you. Can we get a tight shot on Wonder Woman? Ask and ye shall receive. Hubba hubba. Snapper car.
Everyone loves tight shots of Wonder Woman.
Oops, my producer's signaling that we have to go to a commercial. We'll be right back with America's favorite green heartthrob, the Martian Manhunter. Like, John. Hey, John. Oh, no. Did you do the biochem homework? And John's a total biochem genius. Knows more than the teacher. A genius, huh? Trust me, a genius. Thanks. No, thank you. Gotta go. I'll get this back to you before class. Just for the record, I didn't buy your story. Even before the boy dipstick showed up. Because he was saying, my mom's down on me because I tanked on the biochem test. Ha!
Okay.
I thought maybe we could hit a movie Saturday. I don't care what anybody says. I think you're pretty. Oh, God, do I sound like a jerk or what? Total jerk. Let's hope you can do better than that on Saturday. Thank you, God. There are all kinds of powers. John's beginning to understand the power women wield over men. And just when you think you've got a handle on what's going on, the world gets a little bit more complicated. Oh, boy. As he just breaks it. His powers are activating.
Oh, that's interesting. I like how he gets sick first before the powers turn on.
Yep. An earthquake, 3 blocks and several stories gone, to be exact. Years later, the kids would tell the story whenever anybody would listen. Nobody would believe them. And so yeah, there's a lot to be said for suddenly discovering you can do something today that was impossible yesterday, but it can still make you violently ill. Not to mention the guilt from destroying other people's properties. Oh God, she's gonna kill me. I think we have to have a little talk. Okay, I give Lois props for that. It's like, you could tell she knew this was coming.
Yeah. This is better than the way Lois has sometimes been depicted, where she didn't figure out Clark was Superman.
Well, obviously, if she has this kid, she knew.
Well, yeah. By the way, say what you want about Zack Snyder. At least he had Lois figure it out immediately.
Okay. Hey, to be fair, post-crisis didn't take that long to figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, give the guy some credit.
I know. Well, first of all, wait, as you were one to point out, he didn't write that movie.
Okay, whoever wrote it.
You know who wrote it. Come on. You won't. If people are bashing it, you will quick to say, "Hey, he didn't write it." So you cannot praise it on him for something that he didn't write.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I gotta point it. I gotta call you out.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
keeping me on my toes.
Yep. Because you can't have it both ways.
I like it. Thank you.
Yep. You expect me to believe this? It's the truth. Okay, so she's blonde because obviously to help hide her a bit more.
Okay, yeah, I figured that if Superman's a terrorist, everyone associated with him is
dead
going
or
to get
whatever.
hiding.
Yep. The truth that you cheated on your husband and you had me with your superhero boyfriend on the side. How can my own flesh and blood be so dense? It wasn't fair. You dope. They were the same guy. Oh, now shut up and fix the damn roof. Superpowers created the damage. You might as well start learning to put them to good into some good. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to, really, but the longer I waited, the harder it got. You were born human. A normal, perfectly sweet little boy with no signs of superpower. How could I burden you with a legacy you could never live up to? It still would have been nice to know the truth. So Dad wore glasses, even though he didn't need them, as some kind of mask. Nobody looked past the geeky frames of the mild-mannered reporter to see the hero quietly laughing at them. Oh, okay, I hate when people look at it like that. Superman never laughed at people. Okay, pre-crisis he did. Pre-crisis he did. Post-crisis, he never laughed at people for not figuring it out.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm hearing that. I'm like, really?
Oh, there were plenty of times. Haven't you seen covers and all that where Superman's like, ha, 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 ha. Especially when he realized Lois was going to figure out, he's like, uh-oh. Then he'd be like, oh, whew, ha, 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 ha.
Good Lord.
I mean, okay, he didn't laugh in the malicious way. He'd be more of a case like, oh, whew, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, still, it doesn't sit well.
I know, but post-crisis never did that. Well, to be fair, though, also, this was a case where it was written for kids, at least in the Silver Age. Bronze Age is when we got that stupid story where they said, oh, he subconsciously was hypnotizing people to think he looked totally different.
What?
That's a real story.
Whoa.
Some guy tried to come up with that as an explanation to why no one could tell. They're like, this is me. No, here's what Clark Kent looks like.
That's on the level of the wall rebuilding vision from one of the Superman movies.
And this was a real story. The guy tried to say that he basically was subconsciously, and he was hypnotizing people. This was also the point when he was on the news.
Wow.
Because during the Bronze Age when he was a news reporter instead of a TV reporter instead of a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
So while he was doing it, he was subconsciously projecting hypnotism into everyone, and now people no longer think he's like he and Clark Kent look anything alike.
Wow, I will say I like how Joshua Williamson put the whole secret identity back in the bottle, making it if he tells anyone they get a heart attack. I dig that.
No, an aneurysm.
Oh yeah, an aneurysm. Yeah, I like that.
Did he have to kill Manchester Black to do it?
No, but. Because I was wondering how you're going to put the genie back in the bottle. Oh, okay. That's a way. That's a legitimate way.
That is a legitimate way. Yes, because to be fair, they never fully explained how they put it back the first time. They had to be, he died, and until the reboot, I mean. I'm talking about there in that brief time, they didn't explain it at all, and you were having Lois filled in. Oh, quick question. Have you been reading Steelworks?
It's on my pull list. I have to pick it up.
Lana has her Superwoman powers back.
Oh, sweet. I love that.
But anyway. But getting back to this. Your father was a bit of a geek in both of his lives, and it got him killed. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean. Regardless, it's true. I lost a husband thanks to these superpowers. I'm not sacrificing a son. Not to worry, Mom. I intend to have a good time with this. Like hell you will. Huh? This isn't some kind of joke. Laugh all you want. But the minute those powers kicked in, you graduated from a world of fun and game to a world of responsibility. And I won't have you sully your father's memory by squandering your gifts. What the hell am I supposed to do? First you tell me I can't be a superhero, then you say I can't party. What the hell else is there? Oh, crap. Okay, I get Lois. This is the whole being torn.
Mm-hmm.
Different from what Jonathan was trying to tell Clark.
Mm-hmm.
In Man of Steel.
Or like in the comics when he was growing up, even in the Reeves movie, he says you have to be careful about when you the part where I think it was done the best, ironically again, is in Jeff John's Secret Origin when he says choose your moment carefully because you can't put that genie back in the bottle once you do it.
Exactly, and that's something even Jim has repeated in Earth 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like once you let the cat out of the bag. Which led to one moment I did not like Jeff Johns doing, where he's out in the middle of the open saying, I think I made a mistake. He should say that at home, not when he's flying. When he's
Yeah.
flying, he's Superman. He should say that at home when he's Clark.
100%.
But anyway, after almost 15 years, is Superman back from the dead? Satellite photos confirm several reports. So yeah, basically they see him, but then they see like, so is this a hoax, an imaginary story, or is this a new hero trying to fill Superman's boots? This is Pamela Ackroyd, GBS News. So he decided to come up with it on his own.
I like it.
Yep, and there's Lex.
Oh boy.
We've downloaded old existing satellite photos, but we still haven't been able to get a good look at him. What about all these alleged eyewitnesses? Most of them are too young to even remember what he looks like. Like, have you tried? Relax, Lex. We're on hold, we're on hold till he shows up again. Not good enough, McCabe. And never interrupt me when I'm this pissed off. Let's not forget, this falls apart. I'm rich enough to survive the outcome. You're not, and don't forget it. I checked the cell myself twice and reset the alarm code. Your personal specification. Our boy's not going anywhere. 401k. Ah!
Nice. I like that one. That's a pun and a half.
Yep, and your mom wrote that movie? Love is Strange. What can I tell you? It's not that. Then what? It's hard enough imagining my parents making love, let alone telling the world what it's like. You got that right. I mean, they're so old. Oop. Wow. Be right back. Oh boy. We didn't get the moment, but still. Him lifting it up. But thanks. I'm kind of new at this. Do tell. And you're supposed to be? You registered? Registered. You guys knew my dad? Your father? Jon? You believe him? Hey, I haven't seen him since he was a baby. But Kent was born without metahuman abilities. Let's not forget the effect the solar flare had on Jon's motion powers. Oh, it was the flare!
Okay, that makes sense.
You're saying Kent's dormant abilities might have been activated by the flare? It's possible. Uh-oh. Looks like the news reports were right on the money, huh? Those three will be out for only a few seconds. It's time we got out of here. Who the hell are you supposed to be? We're the real heroes here, Junior. That's not the way I hear it, Scuzzball. Little creep. Damn it, we're on your side. Tell that to the Justice League. Oh boy. So he's fighting against the Superman. And yeah, so you don't know. Let go of me, you crazy maniac. You don't know how crazy. Don't give me that look. He'll be fine. You're not the one he hit with the car. Whatever. Call home and let him know we got what we came for. Jon doesn't come home last night. My homeowners doesn't cover Superman and damage due to superpowers. And my movie tanks this weekend. Jeez. How do you think I feel? I didn't know if Jon has any connection to Superman. The Superman? I love my son, but he's more concerned about dating than saving the world. The Supermen ambushed us yesterday. They took Jon. Oh, so that's Bruce. But the news said the JLA arrested those terrorists. You would know more about journalistic integrity than I would. Thanks, Bruce. You always had a lovely perspective on the world. I have another call, Lois. You and your super pals find my kid and tell him to get his tail home. His mother's really peeved. Lex, returning your call. The Supermen were equipped with battle armor I've never encountered. I call Bruce Wayne. Tough call, I bet. The battle suits aren't Wayne Industry or Ferris International either. I thought I might know something. LexCorp dropped that sort of thing years ago, but send me the schematics and I'll have a look. That won't be necessary. Whatever you say. I spoke to the president, and she's very concerned about the JLA's impotence in dealing with these Supermen. Gotta go. Still here, just like I said. Take your men and go, McCabe. I want to be alone. My name's Pete Ross. I knew your father. Seems like lately everybody knew him a lot better than I did. We were best friends as kids, me and Clark. Good memories. Darn good memories. If I set you free, are you going to behave? Yes. Your dad and I grew up together. Imagine my surprise years later when I found out good old Clark was Superman. We need your help. We created that diversion as a test to be sure you were who we thought you were. Your diversion was killed 3 people, and furthermore, your timing really sucks. I was on a date. Sorry. Give me 10 minutes to explain. You got 5. Things started to change when your father died. You couldn't have been more than a year old. A new drug hit the street. People would call it K. It was cheap, easy to use, and deadly. So basically, yeah, it was this case stuff. Yeah, people got hooked, and once they were totally strung out, they had to steal to support their habits. Around the time the third wave technology kicked off, Lex and Bruce Wayne got richer. Oh boy, so it's these typical Chaykin calling out the rich.
Mm-hmm.
Laws passed, and they passed trash the Constitution, but nobody was paying attention. But no one's paying attention because of the and this epidemic. Okay, interesting.
Well, this certainly has taken is a little more relevant.
Yep. Yeah, they meet Lana, of course. Clark and I dated. Your father was one terrific kisser. Telling that to his son.
Wow.
We're infiltrating a secret facility in Arizona tomorrow. A facility we believe can shed some light on your father's disappearance. What kind of light? We can't answer that until we get inside. You're asking me to become an accomplice in an act of terrorism? Well, yeah. That's 20 years minimum federal time. I'll pass. Nice to meet you, Miss Lang. He'll be there. And he is!
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they breached their way in and yeah, bang, 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 bang. All this, like, stop them, they're trying to. They go down to level 4, like, we're in. And turns out you murder everyone your way. You want to get the door open, shall we? And sure enough, there's Clark.
Oh.
What? We're going to have company. Now I hear him. Hold him off while I drag him out of here. So yeah, they get like, Pete! Oh, jeez, get him out of here. Now. But I can handle those losers. Go. Hold on, Dad. Speaking of which, what am I going to tell Mom? Hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah. But so far, I am genuinely enjoying this story. It's very interesting. I like how like certain people have adopted the Superman like moniker for nefarious reasons, and I think that that's entirely realistic depiction of what would actually happen.
Sorry about that.
So good.
Anyway, so yeah, I thought you'd want to hear about it personally. And personally, were they able to download the 401k files? I destroyed what I could, but I can't begin to guess what they got away with. So the sun also rises. I don't get it. A pun. I'll play on words, so to speak. We do nothing. Return to your friends and wait to hear from me. The boy is an unknown variable, but I'm ready. Lex, I'm terribly sorry. Sorry doesn't begin to cut it. Uh-oh! Stabbed him in the leg. She's home. They're still inside. I feel so weak. 15 years in solitary confinement. And wet, too. Weak is the word. Where am I? And who are you? Give these a shot. I don't need them anymore. John, get your down here and right now. I heard from school. I had to let. Oh, Dad. Thank you.
So basically, we finally get the reunion here, which I like. I think it's really cool.
Sorry again.
All good. All good. I got time.
But anyway, who's that? My mom. Where am I? Los Angeles. We rescued you today. That's why you cut school? Enough already about school. John? And I was in Europe. There was a civil war, ethnic cleansing. And they told me not to go, but I had to. Damn it, John. I'm talking to... Oh my God. Lois? Clark? Nice to see you two can still find something to say after all these years. Ha! Take it easy, honey. We did the best we could. The best you could? You call letting John take off with him the best you could? Damn. The encryption's in Kryptonian. None of this makes sense, particularly letting the kid get away with Superman. Lana, in God's name, what are you thinking? You'll note I was injured. I was injured. The benefactor doesn't give a damn about that any more than I do. We spoke today. She had to know. So this changes everything. So yeah, Pamela Ackroyd is giving a summary of all that happened. So I think that's where the issue would have ended because this was originally 2 parts.
Okay.
Yeah, of course they're blaming it all on the Superman and everything. Well, here we are. It's only been a long time, huh? For all of us, I mean. You look good considering. Don't you think so, Mom? I think so. You look pretty good too, Mom, all things considered. He's exactly like you. He's exactly like you. Exactly! And sure enough, woohoo. So, yep. Washington never really knew what they were and that they were helping pay for out there anyway. The official denials have already started. So any additional cover-ups on our part would be unnecessary. Fine. Wait, man, why are the League working with him?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yep, with Superman back among the living, it's time for him to rejoin the Justice League. That shouldn't be a problem. I should think not, since you pull the strings at the JLA. You make it sound like I'm in charge, Lex. I know you don't run things there, Jon. I do. Truth, justice, in the American way. I love that. Can't do Saturday. My kids got soccer. Monday, maybe. I'm just saying you should think about it. Atlantis turns over more in tourism than we ever did on kelp production. I understand, but Amazonium was a gift from the gods to my mother. A public offering makes me a little queasy. Incoming call. Lois? Lois? Hello? You have to hit this button. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the technology. So, I guess you're wondering where I've been all these years. You gotta sit back a bit. Okay. He picked a signal from Luthor in the vicinity a few days ago. Think he's involved in a government plot to keep you incarcerated? That's what I need to find out. The League is federally funded these days, you know. Jon's our liaison. LexCorp maintains government patent on most of our turn technology. But I find it hard to believe that Luthor or the government's involved in this. I'll look into it immediately. Thanks, Jon. I still need time to get adjusted. It's a whole new world out there, but I can't tell you how good it is to see you all again. You feel the same way, Cal. It's no shock the feds have secrets nobody wants to know about, but this is way out of line. An investigation is in order. Absolutely. The first order of business to bring Superman back into the League. This is their headquarters? Yeah. How do you make landing look so easy? Because it's like riding a bike. What? It hurts your butt and you look like a geek? You sound just like your mother. And it looks like they took off in a big hurry. You sure this is the place? Hey, I'm a kid, not an idiot. Clark, it's been too long. Holograms. Finding you alive and well was a real kick in the head, man. Jon's told me about what's happened. I'm grateful, Pete. They nada, buddy. We're friends. And what are friends for? The way I see it, friends don't take dead friends' legacies to use for their own ends. What's that supposed to mean? It means I never gave you the right to use my name and memory for terrorism. It's not like it was when we were growing up, Clark. The oldest excuse in the world. But it still doesn't justify killing innocent people in my name. And as grateful as I am for you pulling me out of that hole, I'm not going to let you continue. Dad, they're gone. Jesus. I was in the middle of a firefight and took a shell to the chest. Instead of exploding, it coated me in some kind of black goo. It must have blocked all sensory contacts and contact to solar radiation and put me in suspended animation. And I remember you were carrying me out of that room. Now what? I mean, you're Superman, right? I think it's time to get to know you and to catch up with your mother. Except for Pete and Lana's craziness, it looks like the world's gone along fine without Superman. Wrong. What's that supposed to mean? Just like I said. And another thing, you might not want to be so hard on Pete and Lana. What? You've been out of commission for 15 years, held prisoner of a facility that government denies ever existed. Take my word for it. It's a different world. Crime is down. But at what price? Order is. Forget order. Is that Superman or Ubermensch? Who do you think you're talking to? You tell me. I'm your father. Simply an accident of birth or in circumstances. Jon, don't even think about using that tone with me. All my life, I wonder what my dad was like. Now I know, and the truth stinks. You can go to hell. Jon. Please don't squint, and let's have the glasses. But trust me, the glare makes you look insecure. Yeah, On into Pamela Eckroyd, live from Metropolis, where the Justice League is about to announce the return to the fold of the Man of Steel, the Man of Tomorrow, the man who started it all, Superman. Somehow this isn't quite how I envisioned my comeback. It's a different world. That's what Jon said. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the Justice League? I got used to the red and blue model. Funny, I had no problem ditching the stars and stripes. Besides, basic black is slimming. We're on. First of all, I want to thank you all for joining us on this special occasion. So yeah, basically they're introducing him back and everything. Like, before I take any question, I'm sorry, Superman, but we received word of an emergency that needs our help. And as important as this press conference is, we all know that Superman has returned to do what he does best. Save lives, met out justice, keep order, and maintain the American way of life. So if you'll excuse us, and yep, they leave to go deal with something going on in the Gulf. You sure this is going to work? And if everything was a sure thing, they wouldn't need us. So here's the big clap.
I love that thunderclap.
Yep, I can't believe it, but it worked. I knew it would, but then again, I knew him when. Brings it back, huh? Couldn't wait to get out. It was stifling, petty, and banal. Was everybody knowing everybody else's business all the time? But thanks to that small-mindedness, we knew everybody's business too. So if it's still here, we'll find it. I want to find it and get the hell out of here. Got it. Right. Where's the Kent's barn? Where the Kent's barn used to be? You're standing on top of it. Let's look. It's here, Lana. God, it's so tiny. Grab it and let's get gone. The sheriff's going to be swinging by in about 90 seconds. It's the truth, Karen. I swear. Go away. I said I was sorry. I said go away. Please just give me a second. English not your first language or what? I said go away. I had a severe allergic reaction. To what? Me? Karen, you asked me out. You kissed me. Then you take off and I don't see you for days. You don't like the way I kiss you? Fine. It's your lot. But don't give me some lame excuse and think it'll be okay. Big time superhero. Scan complete. Analysis shows battle systems are composed of a synthetic titanium polymer and Amazonium. Sole source of Amazonium and its Themyscira. Recent list of buyers. Amazonian is now available for commercial sales. And John's a good kid, Clark, and a good kid, Clark. Deserves a little respect. I'm his father. You have one message. I raised him alone. You can't walk in here and expect him to roll over and play dead for you. I hate that phone. And hey, Lo, it's Lucy, the weirdest thing. Somebody broke into the garage. They didn't take anything, but it's a big hole in the ground. End of message. And, oh, Lucy laid. What's that about a break-in? My sister Lucy's in your parents' old house in Smallville. She needed a fresh start after her divorce. Why would anyone dig a hole under the garage? Oh, it's the ship.
The ship.
The translate Kryptonian. Of course, according to this, it wasn't a U.S. government covert operation at all. It was Lex all the way. Lana, look out! Must have been a self-destruct. Whatever it was, we lost everything. 17 years ago, I made a momentous discovery, and each of you, in your own way, helped me profit from that discovery. Some helped with technology and transforming society, allowing it to prosper beyond our wildest imagination. Some manufacturing the drug K and spread it across the country, ravaging our inner cities, creating a chaotic environment yearning for law and order, provided by public servants who took my advice and my money. And finally, there are those with even deeper secrets and hidden agendas, all part of the grand scheme of things. By close of business Friday, Let's Go will be bought up 61% of the America's national debt, giving me controlling interest in the U.S. government. Would it work that way?
Nope, it wouldn't work that way. No, that's not the way the Constitution outlines that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a business point of view. But we found out they changed the Constitution, remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, nothing. It was right here. I know it. Unfortunately, X-ray vision didn't come with the options package. So I have to take the hard way. I don't know how they did it, but there's nothing here. Oh, and there's the fortress key, but
there you go.
Uh-oh, someone broke in. Not bad for an old broad, huh? So, were you planning on to sit there and watch until I got dressed? Or were you going to sneak out before I knew you were there all along? I didn't want to bring it up with the others present. I completed the analysis of the Superman's battle suits. That's why you're playing peeping Tom in my bedroom? Diana, and what exactly do you want, Bruce? Diana, I asked the question. My question, the suits are made entirely and almost entirely of Amazonian, a metal whose only source is Semiscura. I never thought I'd see the day when you took up with terrorists. Oh, please. Let's face it, Bruce. You're a multi-billionaire. Aquaman and I are royalty. Jon's an alien. Flash and Green Lantern collect a hefty paycheck. We lost touch with the people we were supposed to serve years ago. But we prosper at their expense. My mission when I came to man's world was to make it a better place. How I choose to fulfill that mission is my business. That's my final word on the subject. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Again, this is why I don't care with Chaykin having be that they care. He's making them too much like gods.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I'm like, I'm not sure Diana would do that. Even though it's an Elseworlds story.
Yeah. Warning, receiving unauthorized hologram technology and transmission. Block it. Unable to comply at this time. Lex, looking good. It's been too long. Tell me, Mr. Ross, don't you have anything better to do than interrupt my workday? Like killing innocent researchers, stealing anthrax, and terrorizing the populace? Terrific cover story you cooked up. If I were that kind of guy, I'd sue you for libel. I'm busy, Ross. I'll bet you are. And I'll just bet Superman loved to find out it was you who owned the Arizona facility. And I bet he'd be more interested in what you were really doing there. You can't prove anything. And that's where you could learn something from us terrorists, Lex. We never make backup files. Mm-hmm. This has gone on long enough. Clark, Jon is your son, regardless of his politics. Jon, this is your father. Treat him appropriately. Do I make myself clear? Absolutely, Lois. Crystal, Mom. Fine. I got a salon appointment. It'll take an hour and a half. You got till I get back to start behaving like human beings. Ching! You always been like this? Uh-huh. And you still married her? Clark Kent married Lois Lane. Uh-huh. The Arizona lab's gone, like somebody's made it go away. Somebody stripped the Fortress of Solitude clean. It's got to be the government behind both. Spare me your paranoia. Spare me your naivete. Who else has that kind of manpower? So it has to be the government. Thanks to the JLA, there's no more supervillains running around. Now who's being naive? What's that supposed to mean? The government doesn't have the manpower or the technology to make that facility vanish. The only place you find something powerful enough to do that is the Fortress of Solitude. And the super goo to immobilize you, this is what I think. Luthor discovered the Fortress of Solitude. He cuts the deal with the government because they knew I never allow Kryptonian technology to be mass produced. They take me out on foreign soil and create a fake international incident. Luthor destroys me and becomes the most powerful man on Earth. Now he's being paranoid. Why not just kill you? That's what I'd like to know. Blackmail. I prefer to call it a preemptive bid. You get the disc for $200 million and we disappear. That's a lot of money. Not for you, Lex. Not to keep your secret. $100 million upfront. The other $100 million after you do me a favor. And I want the battle suits. Done. Amazing how quickly you Superman abandon your principles. Freedom always has a price. I guess ours is $200 million cash. There it is. And here it goes. Oh! GBS received a recording and message at the same time as the attack. He's lost his mind. I'm with you. Nothing's that simple. Perhaps not. But it's clear that whatever Superman's been the last 15 years, it's left him delusional. So they're framing him. Mm-hmm. Of course, Superman's like, I'm really not comfortable with this. I'm in. It's what they pay us, but let's do it. Seriously, they're making him so ineffectual.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what it looks like, Jon. Superman wasn't responsible for the attack. I won't take part in a government witch hunt. It's your call, Bruce. I just hope this isn't a decision you'll live to regret. Thanks for giving us a chance to catch our breaths, Bruce. Yeah, we better split. No way. This isn't your fight, Bruce. Who better to back you up? After all these years of buying into the Law and Order fantasy and Fantasia, it's way past time I got back to doing what I do best. What? Bruce would never buy into the Law and Order fantasy.
No, he would never do that. No. The whole Batman persona is against that.
Yeah, beating the living daylights out of the wicked without society's approval. Right. I mean, what's the point of a secret identity if you can't hide behind it? Enough already. Can we go kick some tail now or what? I feel somewhat responsible for all this. It's not your fault they corrupted truth, justice, the American way into order over law. But if it makes you angry enough to wipe the grins off those smirky super jerks, go right ahead. I wish I could trust Bruce to stay out of this. Are we really worried about a 50-year-old with a utility belt? Right. No powers, no special abilities. Underestimating Bruce is a big mistake. Is that really necessary? We're going to, in your words, kick some tail. You have to suit up and show up. You got that right.
The classic bat suit.
Yep. Can you two slow down a little? Slow is not our style. Besides, we've got a date with Destiny. Thanks for coming. We want to make it as easy as possible. I had nothing to do with that attack. It was someone impersonating me. That's for the course to decide. This is a conspiracy to paint me as some sort of out-of-control menace. And I believe whoever's tarnished his reputation is responsible for his incarceration too. You believe? We've all been lied to, Jon. That's not for you to decide. Who then? The courts? Relax, Cal. The hell with you. This has been a loser plot from word one, and I'm tired of playing it. Playing. Cal, you're obviously not well. Use that tone with me, and I'll show you what not well really means. So I guess, and we're going to have to bring you in by force. Not today. Duh! All you men do is talk. You're all under arrest. Take your best shot, loser. Maturity, experience, youth, and treachery versus maturity, experience, youth, and self-righteousness. Whether he knows it or not, he's been waiting for this moment for years. There's no reason to be this, and this has to be hard, Kryptonian. You and I are merely visitors on this planet. A few more seconds racing around and you'll pass out from lack of air, old man. Sorry, Diana, but we've got a job to do. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me, kid. That's where you're wrong, Jon. You're a visitor. I'm an adopted son. Surrender quietly, old man, and we won't make a big stink about it. Speaking of quietly, there's nothing like a little ultrasound to shut up an overstimulated snot nose. I guess I should expect no better from you, Arthur. You've always been a bit too much of a Nobel Riche about you. So much for noblesse oblige. Give it up, punk. You're obviously punch drunk if you think you can catch me with a manhole cuff. Doing! Jerk. Wait, what did you do to Jon? I didn't. He's simmering. Hey, the Martian manhunters have been hit like that in a long time. The pain and the fire confuse him. And for a shape-shifting alien, that can be a problem. That's the guy in charge of the joint we broke you out of. Jon, I'm sorry, Cal. Sorry? Lucer said it was a small price to pay for order. You betrayed me for Lucer? I kept you alive. Lucer? You knew this all along? I don't owe you any explanation. Jon! Intruder alert. Please stand clear of. Is all this drama really necessary? Maybe that too cool Mac Daddy crap played with my dad, but there's a new kid on the block now. You're not going to drop me. It's not in your nature. That's my father you're talking about. As dependable as the sunrise, but I'm my mother's son too. And confidentially, she's crazy as a bedbug. And this is what she'd want me to do. Trust me, when it comes to Boy Scout naivete, you're just like your father. What the? Did you honestly think I kept your old man alive just to gloat over his suffering? Batman attracts that kind of adversary. Those psychopaths of his who mistake attention for affection. I had work to do. It took me 10 years to break down the Kryptonian DNA, and another 3 to produce a serum that didn't kill my human guinea pigs. You're crazy, just like your mother. I didn't get the X-ray vision, but what I did get is clearly enough to take care of you. Guys, your age always talk this much. And the ponytail? It's so 90s. Lame.
I love
Gangway! Hey, Superman, this kid's a relative? Sorry, officer. I'll take care of the damage. Jon, I guess I got a little carried away. I'm just jealous you got to kick his butt without me. 2 days later, somebody's about to get their head handed to them. Because hell has no fury like a Wonder Woman scored. I funded your war, Raj, and you sold out to the enemy? Diana? Uh-oh. Pete, don't! Nobody takes advantage of me. You're going down. With Superman back, it was just a matter of time before we were captured. With Superman back, victory was a sure thing. We earned that money. I knew, Lucer. Idiot. You still can't see, can you? Lucer has nothing to do with this. Lana, you did this? I'm sorry, Pete. I just couldn't let you cheapen what we stand for. This was never about money. You used to understand that. Goodbye, Lana. Goodbye, Diana. What? The story just totally Pete and Lana would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they turned themselves in. The so many of the league do their resignation today. Joint statement said that they will spend more time with families. President Dole has announced replacements by the end of the Friday, a business Friday. Lex Luthor stepped down as CEO for tax fraud. Reaction of the shakeout has caused stocks to plummet. Billionaire Bruce Wayne announced that he will seek the Democratic Party nomination. What?
So you could have just said Bruce is running for president. You didn't have to give him a political party.
And he would never. I don't think he'd be a Democrat. Do you?
No. No.
I mean, he would be an independent at least.
At least
because he would take elements from both sides.
He would take elements from both sides, 100%.
Yeah, he would not be a full-on Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they intend to run on a broad platform of social reform and to return to the people of this country the economic rights they so rightly deserve. Okay, be fair, he's probably the only one who could do that.
True.
I'm leaving town for a few days, so I appreciate you seeing me tonight. I know I've got a lot to apologize for, and I hope you'll give me an opportunity to say I'm sorry. I behaved like a total butthead. But I won't let it happen again. I swear it. Really. Jon? Yeah? You gonna shut up and kiss me or what? My father's rocket landed right here. And this is where Grandma and Grandpa found you? Yes. Back then, this was just a 2-lane blacktop. And Smallville was a post office and a general store and a gas station. Just a white spot on the road, huh? Yeah, but it was a great place to grow up. I'm glad we came out here, Dad. Now we both have a better idea of where we both came from. I prefer things to have worked out differently, Jon. You know that. You know that. But those 15 years gave your mom the time she needed to figure out who she was. And it gave me perspective on who Superman is and what he means. And a point of view I never would have seen while I was saving the world every day. Where do I fit in this? I like to think we can cherish the time we have now, that we won't have and we won't take each other for granted, that maybe we can be father and son at last. Works for me. Terrific. You handled Luthor like a pro. I was bursting with pride. Thanks. How long were you there watching? Long enough. Why don't you drive? Mom doesn't let me drive her car, so we won't tell her. I've got a question, Dad. How come we're driving instead of because I can fly, but that single-bound stuff of yours is a little. Forget I asked. Well, what do you think? That's the woman I fell in love with. See, so it was just bleaching.
I figured.
How was your trip? We had a terrific time. You did a great job raising him. That means a lot. So now what? How about a movie? I'm talking about the rest of our lives. Oh, that. Diana's immune from prosecution. Jon's been deported back to Mars. What?
Wait, what?
Deported to Mars? That means he'd be exiled. That's exile.
That means that there's a Martian, embassy? What?
And Luthor's got enough legal trouble to keep him busy for years. My concern lies in the effects the stolen Kryptonian technology has had on the Earth's culture. Stop being so morose. The cat's out of the bag. There's nothing left you can do. Just let it go. Besides, I'm talking about us. Well, I think it's time Superman officially retired. But the world thinks Clark Kent is dead, and he's going to stay dead. But what do we do with the rest of our lives? Travel. Europe, Asia, Africa. Can we afford it? My last 3 pictures had a combined gross of $3.4 billion, and I've got points. So I guess I won't have to make a few diamonds from coal. You can never have enough diamonds. What do you think? You look great, Jon, but you're much too young to be. Lois, you sure the boots aren't too clunky? Well, in my day, I'd never. The boots look fine. Just do me a favor. Try to be home for dinner. He doesn't need glasses. His girlfriend thinks he's hot. His mom and dad are back together. Maybe he can get used to this, even with the boots. Weird boots!
Yeah, okay. So
this story is.
Can I say this? The thing about this, and this is my problem with Elseworld stories, a lot of writers use these as an excuse to make characters act wholly out of character.
Yeah, I mean, it started fine. It started fine with a lot of questions, but once we got the answers, we didn't want them.
Yeah, I'm like, that's it. And first off, how do you deport someone to Mars?
I don't know. How do you deport someone to Mars? Diana basically went bad, and they're just like not going to do anything about it.
So now we see where Tom Taylor got the idea for his Wonder Woman.
I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, again, there's some things to like about this. There is.
Mm-hmm. It still gets the idea of Superman. It's just there's so many. There's too many moments where you're like, what?
And Jon doesn't even have much of a point in here, really.
Yeah, it's really a Clark story. It's not even a Jon story.
But, okay, be honest though, which Jon do you prefer?
This one.
I mean, he still has the politics in it, but actually, I just realized there isn't that much of a huge difference if you except for the J stuff.
Except for the J stuff. And in this one, wait. In this one, it felt a little bit less like he's hitting you over the head with the politics.
True, and unlike Taylor, where he's like, Jon will try not to a bunch if you absolutely doesn't have to. This one.
No, this one's willing to get into a scuffle. That's what a superhero should be.
But I'm not saying I get what Tom's saying. I get what Tom's going for. Although I gotta say that last issue of that mini was crap.
I abandoned that series from the get-go.
It was fine until that last issue. That issue ended on a clunker, and it makes me feel like you did know you weren't going to have more issues, right, Tom?
I don't think he did. I really don't think he did.
Yeah, because it felt like such things unresolved, and then he's kind of lead into oh no, I think actually it was going to be more, and he got stuck with Beast World.
True, and I honestly think with the Jon Kent thing, I think he was supposed to it was supposed to be an ongoing, but the sales tanked so hard that they said nope, we're cutting it off here. Wrap up your story.
Yep, but even then, there's still stuff he didn't resolve. But still, though, yeah, this Jon is better than the Jon we have. Or at least this is what he could have been, should be, and I think other writers will do after Tom.
This is what he should have been, exactly. This is 100. If Jon had been like this, he would be one of my favorite DC characters. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I'm like,
Yeah, but again, I'm not saying Tom has ruined Jon forever.
No, not because here's the thing. No, Robert, he wrote a good Jon. It's in Deceased.
Yeah. It's in Deceased. Not that though, but even here though, I would say this: the climax of his ongoing was a good climax, dealing with whatever that country was.
I guess. Again, I didn't read it, but I think my problem with Tom Taylor started when he hyped up that Jon was gonna fight Ultraman, and then literally
kills
him, and then he fights Injustice Superman. I'm like, you could have salvaged this, and then he beats Injustice Superman with kindness. I'm like,
we don't even know what it did because and we have so much left over. What happened to Val-Zod and Earth's 2 Red Tornado? What happened to Batman and Harley?
I'm like, what the hell is going on, dude?
I know. Now, again, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, so I'm not going to put all the blame on Tom.
No, but because here's the thing. I've been burned on that before because I'm still convinced that a good 90% of the backlash that Tom King gets for like Heroes in Crisis and his Batman run are from editorial. So
wait, remember, Heroes in Crisis, he didn't have a cast in mind. He was given that cast.
That is 100% why I defend those stories and Tom King's Batman. Because I'm
I give him that, but you still cannot. It's still though he could have written it better, is what I say.
He could have written it better, but it's not as bad as people say it is.
Right, but I gotta say it all. This whole notion of like his girlfriend. Back to this story. His girlfriend thinks he's hot. It's like, okay, that's a little. That sounds like someone raised by Lois thinking, not Clark raised.
Yeah, I'm just like. Again, this is why, I mean...
Okay, I'll say, the stuff with Lois and Clark and Jon as a family worked.
I will say, I like this Lois, and this is coming from someone that absolutely despises the character of Lois Lane. You know why? Because in this version of Lois, she's not abrasive.
I mean, a little bit, but more...
A little bit? But significantly decreased than it is in the mainstream comics.
Again, she's not that abrasive as much as you think. Okay, I looked at him. I mean, look at what's been going on currently. She's nowhere near abrasive.
I will say I've been liking her more in the comics recently.
And heck, even Jurgens never wrote an abrasive Lois.
Yeah, but my problem starts, and I said this on a newer show I started, Comics League, is that they try to give her more to do, so they try to make her like Diana. So I'm a little
No, but I don't buy that. Because I'll tell you this.
Okay,
Can I tell you the worst? Can I tell you the worst she's ever been handled? Even Gail Simone called this out.
which was
The Bronze Age, when she was I Am Woman, Hear Me War. Even Gail on the Up, Up, and Away documentary said they were to the point where they went too far the other way. And she's like, why would Superman give a damn about Lois?
Yeah, exactly.
The fact you had Gail Simone say that.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
She felt like they went too far the other way.
But the point is, I like this Lois,
Mhm.
and I don't like this Wonder Woman.
Oh no, this Wonder Woman makes zero sense.
Hell no. You know what's kind of funny? The character in this story that acted the most consistent was Batman, ironically, except for the whole siding with the government thing. That was a little BS.
Yeah, but Batman was Batman. I mean, we don't even know which Flash and Green Lantern look-wise at the very... it almost looked like that was that supposed to be Wally and Kyle? I couldn't tell. They never specified.
Based on the mask, it kind of looked like Kyle.
But what about for Flash?
And Martian Manhunter, there's no way
that made no sense. I mean, okay, to some degree, like I was trying to protect you, but it's like, no, John would never do this.
He would never intentionally put Superman in a pod and fake his death. No,
he would not. And again, sent back to Mars. In other words, exile. Why didn't you simply say he was exiled to Mars?
Deported back to Mars, really?
Again, you can so see the politics so strongly in this. It's not the worst political book. The first issue was actually fine. But once we actually got towards the end, it just felt like Chaykin couldn't help himself.
It's extremely heavy-handed when you get to the end, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, especially that bit with Diana. And again, when he did to the Rosses, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm just like, let me put it this way. I get that it's Elseworld stories. You can put these, you can, in a way, write these characters however you want. But the thing is, I don't like the way he did these characters.
I don't either. I mean, now the artwork was great.
Artwork is great. So far, the artwork in both these stories is fantastic.
Exactly. But I'll tell you this, though, it's still not the worst Elseworlds I met. They even had Superman in the focal point.
Still not the worst.
Still not Superman, Wonder Woman, whom gods destroy. The Chris Claremont one.
Oh, yeah, that one's horrible. Oh, God. I read that, dude, and the whole time I was like, the hell am I reading?
It's not JLA Act of God.
No.
Even you have admitted that story is not good even for what it does with Lois.
Because, no, it's not even the Lois. It's what it does with Superman. There's no way he becomes a depressed drunk.
And Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she tries to kill herself.
While she's pregnant.
Yeah, wait, what?
And again, she tries to go on Wall Street.
Of all the things, she could work for the UN.
This is the story that is the biggest example of Doug Monkey's Bat God. Yeah, because everything is
100%
everyone's saying we were all wrong. We must all become like Batman.
We must all be Batman. And I'm like, what the hell?
Say what you will about Zack Snyder. He never got this bad.
Yeah, exactly. He never got this bad. No.
I had to go there.
If anything, if Zack Snyder did this, he'd improve it at this point.
Yeah, but then you had JLA created Equal. That's the one where it's basically what if Why the Last Man came to the DC universe.
Which, okay.
Well, the first issue was fine because it actually built up something interesting, which was Superman is the only one who hasn't been affected. Unfortunately, though, because it's later than found out that he still has the disease within him. Because its immunity is keeping it, but that means it can eventually evolve and affect the women.
By the way, a buddy of mine that hosts my show and I are doing our own Elseworlds series where we basically outline our own story. It's based upon what if they didn't kill New 52.
You told me that. You told me that before.
Yeah, and what we did was post-crisis Clark, the one that has like John, he mentors New.
We've been over this. We've been over this before. Yeah.
No, but I'm like, and I say this on the show. You could have essentially serviced both sides of the fandom instead of like telling one kicking one to the curb and told a unique story. But no,
right. But I gotta say no. Here's the thing though. At the end of the first issue of Created Equal, It's revealed now Lois gets pregnant, and then it's revealed that the kid can be born. It's fine. It's not going to, the son is not going to die from the disease. And then, but then that's when Lex shows up. Lex is in a tube and everything. Like he's always keeping himself sheltered and everything. And he reveals then, oh, look at this data. And that's when he reveals that Superman still has the disease, so he has to leave. But then after he leaves, what Diana reveals, well, per Clark's permission and wishes, we're going to repopulate the Earth with his DNA. So we have a whole bunch of superpowered kids. And but here's the funny thing: when we get to the next issue, they're just generic kids, and there's one daughter that's Power Girl's daughter, and except for his son that he and Lois have, which I should point out, he kills Lois by hugging her.
Oh God!
And goes on a tantrum. But here's the thing: we never find out whose kids are what. They are just treated as generic Kryptonian fodder.
Oh God!
And it turns out Lex is then, while they're sleeping on Themyscira while they're being raised, he is sending using machines, sending out messages to their dream to manipulate them, so they start becoming these misogynistic assholes, being like,
"Who the heck is editing these books?" Is what I want to know. Who says, "Yeah, you can't do this"?
Unfortunately, you know who wrote it? Fabian Nicieza, a great writer.
Oh yeah.
And you want to know who drew it? Kevin McGuire.
Oh wow.
Great artist. What the hell?
There's always those creatives that work better in mainstream as opposed to Elseworlds and vice versa. Like I still say,
I wonder if he was given it. I wonder if he was assigned this.
True.
But yeah, I mean, I showed it to Z. Joseph Santos. Even he agrees. Like, had a good startup point, and then that Andy's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
The only thing I liked about that story, though, is besides Kevin McGuire's artwork, Dr. Kimi Hoshi, Dr. Light, actually has some prominence as the main scientist now of this new man free world. Oh yeah. Oh, and of course, was Men gone? Oh, it's almost a paradise.
Yeah. At that point, I'm like, yeah. You're not even hiding at this point.
But they do make it better. At least, okay, let me take back. They don't go that far right off the bat. They work to get there. It just made it easier. They didn't have to be right off the bat. It was a paradise. It just had to be, it was easier. That I can buy.
True that.
If you have the heroes around and all that, I could buy, they can make it a paradise easier and sooner without the men around. But it doesn't mean that it was easy.
Yeah, it's just.
You should check out the video I did on it. You should check it out.
I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
Okay, but again, thank you for joining me on this one, Jared. We're only able to get the 2 in this session, but we'll probably get more in this week. Who knows?
We'll get more, and yeah, we'll collab more.
Yep. Okay, but we'll see you guys all on the next one. Take care.